I had a student ask about the stuff from 7.4, so I thought I would just try to go over it in a little bit more detail with some other examples. So if you look at this, basically when I do these problems, I could just kind of try to figure out what I have, right? So remember, we always have to have a right triangle. This would be a leg, this is a leg, this is the hypotenuse because it's opposite that right angle, and then this right here is your altitude. All right, so this problem, it's obviously asking me, it's asking me about the altitude, and I don't have anything here that, I don't have any information about the leg, so I'm not going to do that. So the problems that have the altitude, so it says the altitude is the geometric mean of the two segments of the hypotenuse. So this is a segment of the hypotenuse, and this is a segment of the hypotenuse. This one right here I know is 36. This one is going to be 100 minus 36, so it'll be 64. So then, so these are just the two segments of the hypotenuse. So then I would plug everything in here. I'd have altitude, altitude, and then I could take the segment and the segment. And then you just cross multiply there and solve for x. Now for this particular problem, it does not matter. I could do x, x, and I could write 36 here and 64, because remember, when you're cross multiplying all that stuff, you're still multiplying the same numbers. So in the end, I'm still going to get the same answer. So yes, you could switch those ones. You just want to make sure you always have the altitude though in these spots, okay? Or opposite from each other at least. Now if I go over here and I look at this problem, this is not giving me anything. Here's that right angle again, so here's the hypotenuse again. And then this right here is a leg. So then that other formula is I have leg. The leg is the geometric mean of the adjacent segment of the hypotenuse and then the whole hypotenuse. So like if you think with this one, this is 9 right here, this is 25. So then that would make this one 16 right there. So in this particular one, it is, if this is the leg I'm looking at, then this is the adjacent one. That's the part of the hypotenuse that is next to that leg. So I would do leg, leg, I would take the 9, and I would take the 25. Again, doesn't matter if you put the 20, doesn't matter if you do it like this. So 25 over x is equal to x over 9. No, it doesn't matter, because in the end, you're still multiplying the same numbers when you multiply, okay? But you don't want to use the 16, because the 16 is not next to the leg that you want to find. Sometimes what you'll see is a problem down here where you're not really finding the leg or the altitude, but you got to think about what the problem gives you. So like right here, this is an altitude, and I know these are pieces of the hypotenuse. So the problem's not labeling anything for the leg. So I can just do altitude, altitude. And then remember, the altitude is the two segments of the hypotenuse. So I would just use x and 16. And then we'd cross multiply that one and solve for x. Likewise, over here, that one's kind of like the same as that one. Like on this one, so the altitude's not labeled, but I know that they labeled a leg, and they gave me the adjacent segment, and here's the whole hypotenuse. So I would have leg, leg, and then I'd have the adjacent segment and the whole hypotenuse. Again, it doesn't matter if you wanted to put the x over the 60 here and the 36 there. It doesn't matter, because in the end, when you cross multiply, you're still cross multiplying the same things, okay? But in this one, then you would just solve that one for x. Let's see here. Is there one here that's, the only other, like sometimes you'll have ones with square roots in them. Like if you look at number 16, this one's a little bit different. So it's got a square root in it, and it has some, it doesn't tell us the whole hypotenuse, but we can easily figure that out. So in this one, you've got a right angle. Oh, by the way, I didn't give you this worksheet. I'm just trying to find some more examples beyond the ones that are already in their book or on your other practice sheets. But anyways, so here's your right angle. So this is the hypotenuse right here. Now, this is x is one part, 11 is the other part. So the whole hypotenuse is equal to x plus 11, okay? And this right here, this is a leg. So when I do this one, I'm going to have leg, and then I'm going to have the segment that's adjacent to it. So that's just the 11. And then I have the whole hypotenuse, so that's x plus 11. So this one, I'll finish this one for you. So when I cross multiply here, I have 6 times 6, and then we have the square root of 11 times the square root of 11, okay? And then this way, you're going to have to distribute. So you have 11 times x plus 11. So then here, on this side, what happens here is that you're going to have 6 times 6, so you're going to get 36 there. And then the square root of 11 times the square root of 11 is just 11. Over here, you're going to have to distribute that. And then, let's see, 36 times 11, 396. So 11x plus 121. Remember, I distributed that 11, okay? So now I'm going to subtract the 121. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 11. So x is equal to 25. So that's what I would be trying to find in that one. Okay? So hopefully just seeing a couple more examples with that geometric mean stuff helps.